Europe, 1944, Nazi Germany controlled the continent. Hitler's Atlantic Wall stretched from Norway to Spain. The fate of the free world hung in the balance. Operation Overlord, the largest amphibious invasion ever planned. Loving this epic history? Like and follow. Supreme Commander, General Dwight D. Eisenhower. 2 million Allied soldiers assembled in southern England. Operation Fortitude deceived Hitler completely. A fake army, fake tanks, and Patton, pointing to Pas-de-Calais. Hitler held his panzer reserves for the real attack. 5 beaches selected on the Normandy coast. Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, Sword, 5 doors to Europe. June 5th, storms forced a one-day delay. Eisenhower walked among his paratroopers before they boarded. He wrote a note accepting full blame if it failed. June 5th evening, 13,000 paratroopers boarded transport planes. 5,000 ships and 11,000 aircraft, the greatest armada. 160,000 Allied troops would cross the English Channel. At midnight, paratroopers dropped into occupied France. 82nd and 101st Airborne scattered across Normandy in darkness. British 6th Airborne seized Pegasus Bridge at 0016. Paratroopers fought in hedgerows, farms, and church towers. German defenders woke to a battle falling from the sky. Field Marshal Rommel was in Germany, his wife's birthday. Rommel's panzer reserve sat idle awaiting Hitler's orders. Hitler slept, aides refused to wake him. The Atlantic Wall's greatest weakness, command confusion at the top. H-hour, 6:30 a.m., June 6, 1944, ramps dropped open. Utah Beach, lighter resistance than feared, troops advanced quickly. Omaha Beach, soldiers walked into a wall of fire. 1st and 29th Divisions pinned down under devastating fire. Company A of the 116th Infantry, 90% casualties in minutes. Rangers scaled the cliffs of Point du Hoc under fire. The Rangers held the cliffs, but the guns were gone. Enjoying this epic? Drop a like now. Sergeant Strexick and Lieutenant Spaulding found a gap at Omaha. Small groups pushed off the beach through sheer will. General Coda rallied his men, Rangers, lead the way. 2 kinds of people stay on this beach, dead ones. American soldiers crawled, climbed, and fought up the bluffs. By midday, Omaha Beach was taken, at terrible cost. 2,000 American casualties on Omaha Beach alone. Gold Beach, British troops pushed inland with determination. Juno Beach, Canadian forces stormed ashore under fierce fire. Canadians suffered heavy losses but pressed farthest inland. Sword Beach, British troops linked up with airborne forces. By evening, all 5 beaches were in Allied hands. 156,000 Allied troops had landed on June 6, 1944. German counterattacks came too late and too weak. The 21st Panzer Division reached the coast briefly, then withdrew. Rommel rushed back to France, too late to stop them. Allied air power ruled the skies over Normandy. German reinforcements bombed on every road to Normandy. The Bocage hedgerows turned Normandy into a grinding battle. Every field became a fortress, bloody yard by yard. Operation Cobra, American forces broke through the bocage at last. General Patton's Third Army poured through the gap at Avranches. Patton swept across France in a lightning-armored advance. The Falaise Pocket, German Army Group B encircled. 300,000 German soldiers killed or captured in the Falaise Gap. Paris liberated on August 25, 1944. De Gaulle marched in triumph down the Champs-Élysées. Germany's Atlantic Wall had collapsed in 10 weeks. The liberation of Western Europe had truly begun. Loving this history? Smash like and follow. D-Day cost, 10,000 Allied casualties on June 6 alone. 4,413 Allied soldiers confirmed dead on the first day. Their sacrifice opened the door to free Europe. German confusion and Hitler's interference proved fatal. Rommel said the first 24 hours would decide everything. He was right, Germany lost those crucial 24 hours. Operation Fortitude's deception worked beyond all expectations. Hitler kept 19 divisions at Pas-de-Calais for 6 weeks. Those divisions could have ended D-Day in defeat. Mulberry harbors, 2 prefabricated ports built at sea. 1 million tons of Allied supplies landed in 90 days. Germany now faced a two-front war it could never win. In the east, Soviets crushed Army Group Center simultaneously. Germany was being crushed from both east and west. Operation Market Garden attempted to end the war by Christmas. The bridge at Arnhem, one bridge too far. Battle of the Bulge, Hitler's last Western gamble. American forces at Bastogne held against everything thrown at them. General McAuliffe's answer to the German surrender demand, nuts. The German offensive collapsed, its last reserve spent. Allied forces crossed the Rhine into Germany in March 1945. Soviet forces entered Berlin from the east in April 1945. Germany surrendered unconditionally on May 8, 1945. VE Day, Europe erupted in joy and relief. The war that D-Day made possible was finally over. Normandy's beaches became the most sacred ground in history. The American cemetery at Colleville-sur-Mer, 9,387 graves. Each white cross marks a life given for freedom. June 6, 1944, humanity's finest hour. Enjoying this? Hit like and follow now. Eisenhower returned to Omaha Beach in 1964 and wept. The veterans of D-Day carried their memories for 60 years. Stephen Ambrose recorded their stories before the generation was lost. Band of Brothers brought Easy Company's sacrifice to the world. Saving Private Ryan showed the true cost of June 6. Every generation since has learned what freedom costs. D-Day's lessons, deception, surprise, and overwhelming combined force. Combined arms, infantry, armor, air, and naval power as one. Eisenhower's leadership united the most powerful coalition in history. D-Day proved democracies could sacrifice and organize for freedom. Americans, British, Canadians, French, Poles, free peoples united. The last D-Day veterans are in their late 90s. Their number dwindles, a generation of giants fading. June 6 ceremonies, world leaders kneel, flags dip. Omaha Beach at low tide still reveals the obstacles. Pegasus Bridge still stands where the 6th Airborne landed. The German bunkers at Long-sur-Mer still face the sea. The Atlantic Wall breached, France, Belgium, Netherlands freed. Denmark, Norway, Austria, freed one by one. Allied forces liberated the concentration camps as they moved east. The world saw what had been hidden behind the wall. Never again, words that Normandy wrote into history. The United Nations rose from the ashes of the war. NATO was built on the sacrifice made at Normandy. The world order D-Day created lasted 80 years. Eisenhower's order before D-Day, full victory, nothing else.